Hello everyone, what's up everybody? My name is Rodney McGuire and I am here to talk about inquiry removal, the process, what it looks like, and what we really have to do on the back end to be able to help you remove negative inquiries that are getting you declined. So I hope that you appreciate this video. If you're watching it, whether you're on Instagram, make sure you give it a heart, share it to your friends. You're on Facebook, give it a good comment, give it a like, give it a share. And if you're on YouTube, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. You already know. Now I created a 7-figure business simply by helping business owners across the country removing hard inquiries. Why? Is because this is something that I was struggling with when I first got into business, looking to get business credit cards, right? I had a 780 credit score. I've been in the automotive business for 10 years and nobody ever drove home the importance of inquiries and how you can get declined because of it, right? And so for me, it was one of those things where I really was oblivious to it. And you would think, being in the automotive industry where we're literally pulling credit all day, every day, sending it to 5 to 10 banks at a time. And you would think they would tell you this thing. And funny enough, I remember being in the automotive industry and the banker on the other side, or the underwriter, saying, hey, I seen that he was at this other store. Why didn't he buy the car from there, right? What are they seeing that I'm not seeing, and why didn't he buy the car? So now we have to come up with a story on why he didn't buy the car, or she didn't buy the car, right? But I never put two and two together on why they were going to decline that specific deal, because I was able to give them a different story than what they were trying to look for, right? So when it comes to getting approved for anything, it's all about the story and how your profile looks, right? So nevertheless, I was applying for business credit cards when I first started my company, and I was looking for some business funding. I got declined by Chase. I got declined by US Bank. I got declined by all these other places, and/or I got a little limit. And they kept sending me stuff in the mail saying that I had too many inquiries in a short period of time. And I was like, what are y'all talking about, bro? Like, what does this mean? So I reached out to a couple people online, and they were like, yeah, bro, look at your profile. You got 10 inquiries. Who's going to give you money? I was like, what do you mean, bro? 10 inquiries literally can stop the show? They were like, yes. I was like, this is crazy, right? And we all want to say it's a scam, and essentially it is. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to play the game, right? I didn't make the rules of it. I just got to be a great player of it. So let's talk about inquiry removal and what it looks like. So we've got our client onboarding, where you get an intake form. On the intake form, you will have to, submit your first name, last name, address, driver's license, social security card, social security number, and proof of address, right? Something that's reoccurring every 30 days. And once you submit that, and you're onboarded to our dispute center, where all of our disputers are there, they're going to audit your profile from top to bottom. So they're going to literally go in and look at how many inquiries you have, how many of them are attached to an account, and how many of them are eligible to be disputed, right? And this is going to mark the start of your restoration journey with us, right? So once they do that audit, they're going to import it into the system. We do have AI that allows us to move quickly. So that's why it's very, very imperative that you have a MyFreeScore Now account, because that's what's integrated into our software. And our software will be able to pick up on which accounts are not attached and which ones aren't. Sometimes it does miss. So that's why we have our disputers on the back end actually go back in and manually review it. But they can do it fairly quickly because it isolates all of them and it marks them in red for them, right? So they're going to be able to identify all of the inaccuracies, in unauthorized accounts and unnecessary inquiries. Now, once they do this, they're doing this not only for Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So they're doing it for all three bureaus at the exact same time, right? The main focus here is to find the ones that are not connected to any account or positive credit account, right? The one thing you do want to note here, we do not dispute inquiries that are linked to any open accounts. The reason being, in the event that you dispute an inquiry that's attached to an open account, you're going to end up getting that account closed, right? And if it's an account that you want, that you're using often, you don't want to lose that history. You don't want to lose that credit limit. You just simply don't want to lose it. So it's very, very important, for us on the back end to make sure that we don't dispute accounts that are attached to an open account. And or if you're doing this for yourself, you don't just want to try to go dispute all the inquiries that are there, because you can end up getting a lot of your accounts closed. But the first step for our disputers, we actually have what we call an Experian dialer. So what this person does on my team, they're going to initiate a call with Experian. And the purpose of this call is to request the removal of the filtered inquiries that aren't attached to any accounts, right? We ensure we document the call, who we spoke to, the time and date of the call, and the response, and we have confirmation notes. So actually internal in our system, every single phone call we document not only the time and date that we called them, the person that we've actually spoke to, and the response they gave us in the confirmation notes, and then we'll send that off to you in an email. He'll give that to, or she'll give that to my customer service rep, and then they'll reach out to you, put it in an email, so then you have it, right? Also, Experian will put the notes on your actual Experian profile as well. So if you have the free version of Experian, you can go in, you can hit that little bell, it'll have an icon up there saying these inquiries have been deleted, right? So typically for Experian, as long as our dialer is up and running, we get this done for you within 24 to 72 hours, depending on how many people are in front of you, right? We do have a substantial amount of people on my team and employees on my team that will dial. But, you know, we also run a ton of ads. And so just depending on where you fall, that might be anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? Now, for the next piece is going to be sending letters to Equifax and TransUnion, because they're different. Every bureau is its own bureau. They play by their own set of rules and things that they're going to do in their guidelines, right? So it's not like, you know, you could use the same process for all three bureaus. No, you cannot. We don't have to necessarily send letters to Experian all the time, but we do, right? So we send letters to Equifax and TransUnion, and in that content, we're going to have a dispute letter that's there. We're going to have the supporting documents as far as your driver's license or ID, social security number and card if you have it, and then proof of address. Okay, those three are important for verification. If we don't have them, they won't be able to verify you, and then they send stall letters, and then nothing happens, right? So then you would have paid us and you would have got no work. So it's very, very important to have those. Next is the follow-up procedure. This is where if you're disputing for yourself, it gets really, really tough, and it gets tiring very, very fast. Because right now we're only talking about disputing inquiries. So you've got a bureau call at the beginning. You got to take all those notes, right? You got to know where you're at there. Then you've got to know the dispute letter, what you're putting on that dispute letter. You got to have all those things. And then now you have to call. This is where most credit repair agencies aren't doing, because they just have a VA on the back end that's just sending letters. I'm not that guy. That doesn't work all the time. And so I found that it's less effective if you're not calling. And so we call all the time. So it's very important that you listen to this. So our follow-up procedure, as number one thing that we're going to call within 7 days of sending the letter. Okay, we're going to call just to confirm that they've received the documents. Okay, and then we're going to log whoever said they confirmed receipt of it or they didn't. Because a lot of times, most of everything we do is electronic, and most of everything you're probably going to do is going to be electronic as well. They'll still say that they didn't receive it. It's crazy. I know that sounds wild as hell, but you will literally upload a document, maybe to Experian, or upload it to Credit Karma, wherever you're uploading, right, and or to the CFPB, and you can call and they'll say that they didn't receive it. It's the wildest thing that I've ever seen, okay? So you want to be able to confirm who received it. Then after that call, we're gonna wait 3 more days and then call again. So if they haven't received it, we're gonna wait 3 days, call again, resend all the letters, and include a note referencing the previous attempt. So we're gonna let them know that we've kept track of not only when we sent it, who we sent it to, and who we spoke to, right? Because we want to make sure they received it. That's step one. A lot of people are sending out letters and don't even confirm that they received it, because you're going to be on hold for an hour to 45 minutes, right? You might get hung up on, you might get transferred and rerouted to 4 different departments. So you got to know where you're going with this as well. Okay, so then now we've got the confirmation and dispute escalation. So confirmation of the letter received, that's step 1. Right, requesting the inquiries to be removed, that's step 2, and then update and document all communication and status per bureau. So we've got to do this per bureau. We already did Experian. Now we're calling TransUnion to just make sure that they received it. We're calling Equifax to make sure that they received it. We're calling 3 days later asking, hey, do you have it now if they didn't? And then we're asking them to delete it over the phone as well, right? And then if we can't get the results we want, right, we're going to update all the documentation and communication per bureau of the status of where we were at. So that's confirmation and dispute escalation. So that's where we are, right? Then next, you're going to go to handling document rejections, because this happens as well. Document rejection, I'm talking like there's probably a 3 out of 4 chance your documents get rejected. 3 out of 4. So, you know, if you've been disputing by yourself, don't feel too bad. because most people, once again, don't know how to go the distance. If you're not tenure in this, and I've got over 3,000 clients, right, that I've done this for. You just don't have the mental fortitude, and you shouldn't have the mental fortitude to go through this process, sending letters, updating letters, knowing that you send them, calling every bureau. You don't have time. You have a job. You have kids. You got things that you got going on. This is why people pay me and my team to do it, right? Because you don't want to do this. I promise you. If you sit on the phone for 45 minutes to an hour with TransUnion, you'll want to pull your hair out, okay? If a bureau claims that they did not receive the documents are not viable, we're going to investigate the reason. What was the reason why you said it wasn't viable? Was it the format? Okay, missing ID or documentation if it was not uploaded or updated. Okay, we'll try to overcome that. Incorrect dispute reason. A lot of people get their disputes rejected because of incorrect dispute reason. I know that sounds basic, but it happens, and the bureau will even lie to you and tell you that you didn't use the correct one. So if you haven't done this before and you're not tenure, you could be literally sending the right one, and they'll tell you that it's wrong. It happens. Okay. And then you're going to redo the process, correct any of the errors that they said that you had, resend updated documentation, and then reinitiate the follow-up schedule. So then now you're going back to step one for the first 7-day call, making sure they got it. If they didn't, 3-day call, and then you're going to do this all over again. And once again, we're only talking about inquiries at this time, right? So it's very, very important. And then summary of the responsibilities for my team, right? The back-end team. We audit and import all credit reports into our system. Report, audit, documentation, prep, letter sending, right? We handle all of that. We do all of the follow-up calls on the back end, so you do not ever have to make a call to the bureau. They've got dialers. I've got them all set up. I've got 3,000 clients for me. I run 4 other companies as far as partnerships, and so we do this for all of our partners as well. So if you're going through this program with me, you're extremely lucky to have a super, super high intensified and dedicated team to be able to do this for you. So this is how inquiry removal works on the back end. Once again, my name is Rodney McGuire. Make sure you YouTube me, Google me, and I'm the inquiry removal king, and that's just how I made my name. So until the end of my time, y'all stay doggy. Y'all know what it is.